This is 118
Why
proof.
would anybody do this?
They fall apart, they're the most tender.
It tastes like I just got pepper sprayed by a cop. No more questions, are we done?
All right, I think we're now letting people in. Guys, hopefully y'all can all hear me. If you can't hear me, perfect. If you can't hear me, let me give you instructions. Put it in the chat that you can't hear me. Now you know. Guys, thank y'all for being here with us. We are once again coming to you live off-site, not at the center office, but in Cameron, Texas, at the beautiful ranches at 44 Farms. It's an outstanding outdoor day for us to be sitting in the heat, talking to y'all about things around IT and then also around the stakes we want to get each of y'all. So what I'd like you to do is just go over a few housekeeping items with me. As we wrap that up, we're going to get straight into the meat of today's presentation, and we'll get rolling. First off, probably good to tell everybody that, as always, if you've done an event with us, you probably expect her to be here with us. Allie's producing. Allie, how's your mic working? Are you on?
Yes, working.
Awesome. So, hey, Allie, thanks for being here. She's watching the chat, looking for questions from y'all. If you have something you want to bring up, even if it's something like a technical difficulty, put it in the chat, let us know, and she's going to be keeping track of it. A little bit different than in the past, I've got a red button in the bottom right-hand corner. That red button is a form to schedule a meeting. Some of the things we're going to talk about today are time sensitive. The sensitivity around it is end of this month. No one likes a high pressure sell, not trying to do that to anyone. But in the event that the things we talk about are indeed compelling and you need to have a message or a meeting about it soon, please click that red button, fill out that form, and I've got a group of 4 that are looking for them to put those invites on your calendars ASAP. All right. The other half of you who haven't done events with us yet, I need to do a little bit of an explanation on why we do this. So first off, Center is a full-blown IT services organization. We're not a ranch. We don't deal in cattle. We're not a steak producer. What we are is your team or extension to your team for anything IT. What we're doing here today is every year we do one event in the summertime to give you guys a chance to learn more about what's going on in the ranch industry, get your hands on some wonderful steaks, and hopefully become better in your own backyard, just like we like to make you better in your own business at the IT initiatives you have going on. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and make a couple of small introductions. We're going to have 2 from the 44 Farms team with us today. Ethan runs their retail shop. If you're ever buying steaks from 44 Farms, it's his line of business you're buying them from. Kiefer runs part of the cattle program. He's going to be here to talk about the state of the industry, what's going on with those barbecue prices. It's like $38 a pound for brisket these days. Then in addition to that, I got Todd Smith with Center Technologies, our CTO. He's here to talk to us as well, give us some insights into what's changing within Microsoft and with really the questions our customers are bringing to us, the trends he sees and other things. So with that, let's talk to Todd. Todd, how are you?
Great, James.
I'm glad you're here. You sweating yet?
No, not yet.
Good.
It's only a matter of time, though.
It's interesting. The clouds hit the sun, guys, and it's like an indoor facility. The moment they leave, we start sweating quick.
And this is live. It's not a green screen, believe it or not.
Yeah, that is right behind us. What do you think of 44 Farms? Pretty nice.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's like watching Yellowstone.
Yeah.
Well, Todd, CTO is a big title. You've been at Center a long time, as have I. Give a little background. How did you get here?
Oh, man.
Tesla.
What's that?
Tesla brought you.
Tesla did bring me. The car drove me most of the way here while I talked to AI and got some work done, actually.
Nice. You started day one with Center as an intern.
Yes.
And you've worked your way through multiple technical roles.
That is true.
And now you're sitting in a CTO seat. Describe at Center, what does a CTO do?
At Center, I oversee our IT department, our not only internal, the tools we utilize, and then our tech stack. So what we recommend and the solutions we provide to our clients.
Speaking of technical, we were having small technicalities, and we're
challenge.
switching mics real quick for the wind.
That's not where you stand, I guess.
I don't know.
I have no, they can't hear me.
Yeah. So
Carry it a little bit.
carry a little bit, yeah. So one of the biggest things we do, we have what we call is our C-Stack. So we have a technology committee. We meet weekly to go over different trends in the industry, if we have any gaps, any requests from our customers to make sure we're offering the right solutions for our clients.
That was a great topic. We get that usually from a customer need. One customer might bring something up, and then in that industry, we see a few more bring it up. And as that continues to grow, it becomes a topic within that CSTAT committee. So that's a great one. If y'all have, maybe there's a problem that you're trying to research or figure out what the right solution would be, drop that in the chat. We're happy to tell you if we've already done research and R&D on it. We can give you a head start on that research project. Hope my audio sounds a little better. Are we hearing thumbs up?
We're good. We're
Nice.
better.
All right, guys. Sorry about that. All right. So, Todd, you've launched your career and now a CTO of an MSP. Center Technologies is actually one of the largest full MSPs and IT services companies. We are the largest in Texas and Oklahoma, offering 5 different lines of service. We have our managed services offering, which you've been instrumental in shaping over the years. We offer cloud solutions. We offer the cybersecurity protection division, so an entire SecOps team. We have a business intelligence operation. That BI team does everything from Power BI and the Power Suite from Microsoft to the Dynamics Suite, if you ever want to get into accounting software, ERP, and then a consulting division that does projects. So with all that, we've structured a model where if any business, no matter their maturity, has a little bit of IT in place, we can supplement what they already have, or we can be that full IT staff to deliver an end-to-end offering. A lot of that is driven on the back end by tools. Those partners that end up developing that package for us are instrumental to us being successful for you. One of them is helping us out today. Sponsor of today's entire event is Huntress. Tell a little about Huntress if you don't mind. What do they do?
So they are a security, they offer security services really targeting SMB. So the story behind Huntress, the CEO wanted to create a security product and a security offering that would help businesses like his mom's, SMB. So, because in the past, the only way you could get good, solid security solutions was enterprise. So he wanted to target SMB, partnered with MSPs as well. And then all of their security offerings, they make sure they have a SOC component behind it. So.
Okay, so I'm hearing yours still has a little bit of a wind blow or something going on. So we're gonna fix that real quick. Yeah, but Huntress hasn't done events with us before. This is the first one they've done. It's a relatively new partner to Center's offering. Everything from ITDR through some of the small business SIM solutions, we're taking full advantage of and having them strengthen our security package by default for those who are on that managed services offering. Anything else you want to add on Huntress division?
Yeah, so one of the solutions that we utilize with Huntress is their ITDR. So for identity threat detection and response. So we use that to help keep identities in 365 safe. So to make sure if there's suspicious activity, issues, any kind of risk for the users, logins, suspicious sign-ins, anything like that, it helps alert on that, and it also helps reduce alert fatigue. Any false positives, they help us reduce that to where the alerts that we get, they're usually valid.
Yeah, it was a good comment you made too about the CEO's desire to have a solution that helps a small business. That's kind of been Center's goal since the founding. In this last 20 years, we've been trying to bring enterprise-grade policies, practices, and technology to the SMB space. And it's really shape-shifted a bit into offering really a small town feel with a big city amenities. We typically say inside Center's walls, local touch, personalized service, and enterprise experience. But along the way, as you learn about more of who we are, you'll start to find that it all boils down to big city amenities, but never losing that small town touch. So thanks for introducing that a little bit. Excited to have you here with us today. It's rare we get Todd in person. He loves to be a part of our events, but usually from his desk remotely. If you are a customer of ours, of part of our managed services offering, you've probably been a part of our tech talks, and Todd leads those for us. So yeah, excited to have you here, Todd. Thanks.
Yeah, they don't let me out much, so glad to be here.
It seems almost cliched at this point. Every once in a while, we have a trend that drives the industry forward and drives our business owners we support nuts. I remember big data came around and everybody needed to invest in analytics. I remember there was a VDI moment where everyone needed to invest in virtual desktops. There was a moment around hyper-converged infrastructure when everyone needed to dump their infrastructure and go to hyper-converged co-location facilities, data centers, cloud, on and on. A new fad comes, y'all probably expect salesmen to show up and tell you you need it. AI is now here.
Oh, what's that? I haven't heard of that.
Right, everyone's asking about it. So we got to figure out how do we find a way for all businesses to consume AI, as it's not necessarily a fad, it's here.
It's here.
It's
gonna
here.
stay.
Yeah, so let's talk about that a little bit. Is that the biggest question we get?
Typically, everything's, hey, how can we utilize AI to help our business, make us more efficient, do more with less, make people more productive, and also make us more secure as well.
Sure, and then we've standardized in the center world with a partnership with Microsoft on making recommendations on how to get the most out of Copilot. I've heard mixed opinions on Copilot. A lot of my customers actually don't love Copilot. They often just tell me it sucks. But what I find out is oftentimes it's not being used maybe in how the ways Microsoft intended it to be used. Do you see that ever too?
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't think Microsoft's going to be bleeding edge when it comes to AI, but they're not far behind.
Yeah.
And they've made a lot of changes to Copilot lately that's making it closer to Claude. And I mean, you can use the other models, so that's what's great. It's a AI platform, but uses multiple LLMs. So you have multiple.
That's right.
options.
So when you're building an agent, you can choose which LLM you want it to use, right? So if
Correct.
you want Claude, you can get that. ChatGPT, you can get that still. Hey, Allie, do me a favor. Will you throw our journey slide up real quick?
I would love to.
Perfect. I didn't know for sure, guys, if we were going to get into this, but what Center's done is we've looked at it rather agnostically. No matter what AI tool you're going to standardize on, there's a journey a business should take as it matures with AI. As that journey is adopted and the AI tools are ingested, you got to make sure you're doing it responsibly to protect the business, but enable the employee to operate with freedom. So this journey slide starts at stage one, which is rather boring, but it's picking the tools you're going to use, and it's making sure that you have the legalese in your handbook to protect the business from employees being stupid with AI. Todd, you know any employees that have been stupid with AI?
Yeah, even without AI, but you know it does happen, and also just an acceptable use. The biggest thing is pick one and make it known to your organization. Hey, this is what we're going with. Don't go sign up for your own ChatGPT account. We don't have any controls, any protection from it.
Yeah, we'll get into that. The governance becomes really hard as you start to choose different tools against the business, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, so now you've got a good pick. You know what tools you're going to push on the business. You've got your acceptable use policy put together. We now got to start enabling the employees to be efficient. One thing I love about Microsoft right now is that if you have a 365 account, basically you get access to that Copilot chat. So at the very least, you can have alternative options to a Google search by throwing it into Copilot and allowing someone to be more efficient in how they do their research, how they do any of their searches, and not having to read all of the articles that Google gives you. This will start to formulate it for you. And you can trust it, right? It's always accurate.
No AI is ever accurate. Sometimes you got to call it out. You got to tell it, hey, this doesn't seem right. Can you fact check? Give me multiple sources. They've made some changes to it to where now it is protected even if you have a business premium. I believe they've even made it for the basic and standard. When you use the chat, it is protected within the walls of your tenant to where you can, even again, with just the chat, without the full-blown Copilot, upload a document saying, hey, help summarize this, help me find some key summary points on it.
Yeah, that's right. So there's if you're used to the old school version of it and you're already ahead of us, there used to be a work and a web option that you'd have to select between the two. And now that's just work IQ.
Well, yeah, you still can turn off work IQ. So that's a little different. That's if you have the full-blown Copilot license for 365. It defaults to work IQ to where it wants to make sure if you have documents, policies, any standards in your organization, when you're looking something up, it's going to reference that as well as possibly the internet. You can click and disable that to where then you're just looking at external references. Maybe you might not want it to look at your internal references for something if you're looking something up.
Sure. Now, Microsoft's announced a bunch of changes. They're all coming July 1. July 1's right around the corner. It's next week. A couple of those changes are price increases. If you've already adopted Center's standards and recommendations, you're already on Business Premium. There's no price increase to business premium, but all the other major lines are increasing. Before I get into the price increases, Allie, let's show the comparison slide for me real quick. They're sweetening the pot in basic and standard by offering a little bit bigger mailboxes. So instead of 50 gig mailboxes, we're now at 100 gig mailboxes.
Yeah, and that used to be one of the biggest differences between the enterprise plans and the business plans was the size of the mailbox.
Now, in Center, we had standards around if you had a 50 gig mailbox, we set you up with an archive. Archives can cost more money on the lower plans, but come as part of the business premium package.
Correct.
So we would balance those features to make sure you're getting the most out of it. Now, if I've got a bigger mailbox and that's my only sweetener, that's not too great. I think there's one other security thing around URL checks.
Yeah, are you talking about for business premium or just in general?
Basic and standard.
Basic and standards. You get Exchange Online protection, so it'll just do some basic spam protection and some basic anti-phish protection.
Right, and then we were talking earlier about if you have a link that hasn't been scanned yet, the URL scanning process is what they're adding to it with the new edition of the package.
Correct.
Yeah, so they're gonna be adding these minor sweeteners, but up in the price.
Normally they just up the price without giving you anything. At least you're right. They're at least giving you a little bit something.
I'd say head fake. The features aren't that sweet. Allie, I'm about to ask for that pricing slide if you don't mind. Let's show the price slide real quick so that we can show that uplift. Thank you. So you see some of these are 16% uplift in pricing starting July 1. You're probably asking, I'm month to month, am I susceptible to this fee? You are. You're going to pay it. I'm annual commit licensing. Then no, this will run your term on your pricing, and then at renewal, you're going to expect this new rate. But one of the things I've heard from our customers is I don't want to jump into business premium because it's $23.50. There's a lot that goes into that $23.50 though. And if you aspire for AI tools, you're fooling yourself if you think you can do it without it. So what I would like to just pivot into, I guess, a little bit, now you can take that slide down if you want, I don't know if it's still up, is let's talk a little bit about what comes in that upgrade. Because right now, come July 1, the gap in price is starting to get squeezed. Standard to business premium isn't as big as it once was. So it's never been cheaper to make that jump. So what am I getting that helps my AI strategy?
Well, not just AI strategy, but I mean, that's an added benefit, but it's really a lot of security tools. It's like what I would consider almost baseline security tools that you need for your organization. So you get endpoint security tools, so you get the full Defender suite, but it's not the enterprise plans, but you get a business Defender suite, which comes with next-gen antivirus, an EDR, some other advanced security features, more advanced email threat protection. So you get better anti-phish, anti-malware. You also get endpoint management as well. So you get Intune. So that way you can have some requirements and policies on the endpoints. And then also some DLP protections. So you get some minimal features of Purview. So when it comes to AI, you might want to put some guardrails as far as what your AI or what Copilot can access, whereas Business Premium helps you do that. So where you can set guardrails and say anything with a sensitive label, like payroll information, doesn't get into Copilot. So someone asks a question.
File, highly sensitive.
Exactly.
So the business case we used to talk about with Business Premium had a lot more to do with gaps in MFA and how conditional access policies can help ensure and enforce that these gaps don't exist. Microsoft doesn't do anything that isn't too confusing, right? But they always confuse it a little bit. I've even seen the nomenclature starting to change again. Instead of Defender for 365, there's now Defender for Office. Same thing, just changing the words a bit on us. So.
Yeah, they changed it up quite a bit. It used to be Advanced Threat Protection, then they have Plan 1, Plan 2, just to make it a little more confusing. But yeah, identity protection is also included. So conditional access policies, MFA enforcement, those are huge. Right. Those are must-haves. That will mitigate 99% of business email compromise, just enforcing MFA and having some basic conditional access policies.
Yeah, and all of that foundational items, the foundational items we're talking about, allow you, again, to give your employees the freedom to operate with AI tools without having to worry too much about training. Let them go. If you have these foundational items in place, you protect the business from their potential stupidity. All right, so now that we've got this belief that the price to jump into Business Premium's never been smaller, I want to also add, ending in June, the beginning of July, Copilot prices go up. They've been on a promo of late, so they don't necessarily go up. They go back to where they were. But I can still get you those licenses on the promo rate for the rest of this week and beginning of next week, if that's something you want to jump into. If you're on the edge of your seat thinking I wanted to roll Copilot out to all my employees, but I've been hesitant due to not knowing what I'm going to open in the Pandora's box, this is the last week to do so at an inexpensive manner.
And even if you're not ready to do it organization-wide, they often recommend starting with a department, starting with your executive team, leadership.
Yep. Well, yeah, the promo itself is 10 licenses to start. So you find a group that you know is going to be good at it. We didn't talk much about it. I'm going to come back to a committee comment I want to bring up. But Allie, I see you waving at me. What do you got?
We got a quick question from the chat. Jason's curious, how can employees safely use AI while ensuring confidential company and customer information remains protected? And you know what I thought? Todd's the guy to answer this.
Yeah, right.
Oh, man.
It's a bit of what we just talked about, actually.
Yeah, we did. So if you have business premium, that helps with those Purview policies, so DLP policies. It allows you to do labeling to where you can say anything that's tagged sensitive. Don't allow it to go to don't allow Copilot or to utilize the data. You can force encryption on it. You can make it to where other apps and integrations can't see that data as well. Part of the difference between the full Purview suite and what's included in Business Premium, though, is it's manual labeling. So it gives you the basics to do encryption and to have those policies, but it's manual labeling. If you have the full Purview suite, it is an added cost. I don't want to get into it too much because I know we're focused on Business Premium, but it allows some AI-driven labeling. So if it detects certain keywords or certain things that look sensitive, it'll automatically label. So you don't have to put that burden on your team to go through and label everything.
So he doesn't want to get into it because it's Business Premium, but I like to get into it. It's $5 per user right now. It's 50% off till the end of June. Come July 1, it goes back to being $10 per. So I can't stress it enough. This summer is the cheapest it's been to responsibly roll out AI across your whole business or department by department. It hasn't been less expensive than this. Copilot, if you looked at it before, is about $30 per month. It's $21 right now. And then Purview is not 10, it's $5.
And some other ways you can protect yourself is with Intune and conditional access policies. So if you don't want to allow let's say you don't want to allow Claude, you want to keep everything Copilot, you can actually push policies through Defender, Intune, conditional access, and prevent those apps from deploying or prevent somebody from going to those websites. And we can help with that as well as part of our secure managed services and co-managed services office.
Yeah, we tweak those settings for our customers all the time. So
Correct.
If this still sounds foreign to you, we can walk you through it pretty easily. All right, next thing I want to talk about is Microsoft's strategy for how they view this continuing to scale and grow. I believe personally that their strategy wasn't well articulated early. It's becoming extremely tight at this point. So I just want to go over a couple things in case you're curious where they're going with it. First of all, their view is every employee is going to have an assistant, an AI assistant, offering help to their job function. What their job function is, Microsoft cares. They don't really care that much. They know the tools they have are easily programmable for it to assist in whatever job function that is. In fact, if you look at their marketing material, they're actually narrowing it down to departments and the different jobs in those departments to give ideas on how their AI tools can help your employees be more efficient. Most people, including myself, jumped into the future is studio, building agents, knowing how to coach an agent, teaching it to start using flows and other topics and tools built within Studio to be efficient. But I think what's coming is Microsoft's getting to the point where it's all starting to collapse on itself. We're seeing co-work now.
Yep.
We're seeing Scout.
Yep.
Give a little view into where's the future of this going to go and how will employees feel the impact?
Yeah, so a lot of people are using AI right now as mainly like a Google search, kind of like you mentioned.
Or listening to their meetings and showing them a synopsis.
Yeah, but it's to help them do their jobs more efficiently, to set up workflows. Right now, to set up a workflow that's automated with native Copilot, it can be complex. You have to do some Power Automate rules on top of an agent. That can add complexity, make it a little more difficult, that's where a lot of people favor Claude and other AI platforms. But with Cowork, what's great is that you can have it take action. Okay. So with Copilot for 365, you could ask it to help you identify emails that you need to respond to. Anything high priority, summarize a meeting, help me prep for this meeting. But With Cowork, which is now in general release, you can have it help me organize my email to where it'll go through your email, summarize and organize and say, hey, these all look like marketing emails. This is the list of them. Do you want me to archive them, mark them as read, move them to a folder? So you can do that in bulk.
Delete it.
Or delete. That's another option. So you can have it just blindly do it, or it leads with tell me what to do and then confirm. So it's allowing you to actually do things with it. Scout is still what they call frontier.
Yep.
They're beta. That allows for a lot of the automations that simplifies it. So you can actually, for instance, one I built was recap the last 7 days for my team, everything my team's worked on, some wins, some challenges, roadblocks, meetings, help organize that and summarize it and send me that recap to where I don't have to go type in a prompt all the time. Surprisingly, to do that with Copilot Studio, it requires a lot more, whereas Cowork does allow it to actually do those things.
It's really cool the way you just put that, actually. One of the smartest guys at Center is our head of solution architects, Ariel Davenport. If you're a customer of ours, you probably met him. He would fall into that side of the house of that Copilot's an outstanding tool for what it's supposed to be. It's a terrible tool for building an agent the way you just described.
Yeah.
It would take him 3 or 4 hours to fine tune it, where in Claude it starts to just do it.
Yeah.
That's
Microsoft's
where
finally
Scout is
there.
getting to the point where I can, in plain text, explain what I want to do, and it's going to start to code it for me. Now, y'all know me well enough. I know nothing about coding. The only code I know is up, down, left, right, A, B.
No, you up, down, left, right, BA, BA, select start if it's 2-player. So, for Contra, right?
Contra, yeah. Sorry,
Almost
nostalgia there. All right, but we don't have to be coders to be able to be efficient with it, and that's why Microsoft thinks their tool is going to be the right tool to be the assistant for any employee of any job function. My IT guys on the call right now are probably rolling their eyes. Like we've always known this. We've always known this. But yeah, your day has come. We're here. Everybody wants to be you now, but to do so, we've got to find ways for it to speak with the layman terms. So here we go. We're going to roll this out. We'll have everyone with one. They can say, this is what I pulled my report from the past, automate it for me, and pop, 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 pop. It's going to start to do it for them, right?
Yeah, and you can give them each of those workflows. You can give it guardrails on what permissions it can do. So you can make sure it can't delete things. It can only read.
Wow.
You could have it actually draft the emails and send them, or send a message in Teams. So you can, each individual workflow, you can restrict permissions on as well.
Pretty neat.
With Scout. So.
Yeah, so guys, we're getting a few questions, not a ton of questions. You have one right now, Allie? I was about to tell everyone you should ask questions.
But kind of looking more on the Copilot side, would you say, does Copilot share your Outlook data outside your organization? Or do you
No,
really
not
keep it within.
If you ask it to.
It does not, especially if you have the Copilot for 365 license.
Yeah, or for Office, whatever they call it.
Or for, whatever they've branded it to this month. But the actual Copilot license, correct. It keeps it within your tenant. So it doesn't go for.
You've mentioned that a
serve the
couple
greater
times.
good.
It keeps it within the tenant, which means that the rules you set in your tenant are going to pass through to Copilot. Whatever rule is in the tenant will be the Copilot rule as well.
Correct. So like if, one thing our COO always mentions is in the past, a lot of security was security through app security. People didn't know where to look for data.
Yeah.
Copilot makes it a lot easier. So if your payroll information's not locked down, your HR information's not locked down, you might have some problems. That's where those Purview policies and things can help, where you can put the guardrails in place that don't allow that to go to Copilot.
Yeah.
So even, you don't have to worry about outside your tenant if you're using Copilot, but even within your tenant, you might not want everybody to be able to access that data.
Yeah. So again, quick reminder: we're landing the plane a bit on this side of the conversation, but there's a red button in the bottom right-hand corner. In the event that this is something appealing to you, and you want to make sure your business is getting the most out of their investment with Microsoft. I don't care if that means I'm on standard. I want to know what it looks like to get on premium, or I'm on premium already. I want to understand what it looks like to get all of Copilot's features and Purview rolled out. We want to help you with it. Hit that button and set up the form. That is the only way that we're going to know that we're shipping you a steak or not. And the steak box we're about to introduce is really good. So I want everyone to take advantage of it. The fastest path to get it is to set up that form, and let's move forward from there. Allie's waving me down.
For healthcare,
Oh, another question.
I know,
Excellent.
we had to. We
Good.
had to.
I'm
real
happy y'all
quick.
did it. Let's do it.
I know, right before we switch, I have to let the people know their answers. For healthcare, can we have Copilot detect patient information?
Yes. So with Business Premium,
If you wanted to.
if you wanted to, with Business Premium, you can also build a DLP policy to where you can actually prevent that from being shared as well.
Yeah.
Purview would really help more so detect and automate policies around it, but Copilot certainly could help you find that information.
I like stakes more than anybody I know. If I had a question still looming, I would click the button and then tell my question at my meeting when I get my stakes. So be thinking about it right now. Hit the button, fill out the form. I got guys that are sitting aside to put calendar invites from form to calendar. That's not AI, that's manual. So they're gonna take care of that. And then if you're a customer of ours, your account executive is gonna run that meeting. If you're not a customer of ours yet, we're gonna set you up with a team of experts and we'll start learning more about your business.
Real quick, I just want to mention we are doing a webinar for tech tools with Huntress to go over their ITDR, because it is included with our Secure 365 offering.
Yeah, so I think
wanna
that's
mention
actually our next spot is, Ali, you're throwing that on the screen, right?
Awesome. I'm
Perfect.
just setting you up, Al.
Yeah,
I knew
that was excellent. So Todd, thanks a lot for being here.
thanks,
We're gonna
James.
see you out.
All right.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Kiefer and Ethan are gonna join us from the 44 Farms team. Excited to have you guys. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having us. We appreciate
Absolutely.
it.
We're gonna move some chairs around while we got that splash page up. So thank y'all for getting situated. Ethan,
Always good to be back.
are the
with you,
steaks almost
James.
ready?
Yes, sir. Those steaks are smelling delicious.
We're pretty happy to be here with Ethan too, but only when he's cooking. Ethan,
Hey, me and you both.
yeah, right. Are we scooting in or back? Back, thank you. All right. Hopefully you guys can see us. If you can't see all of us, put something in the chat. Let us know that we don't know what we're doing. We should have put some duct tape on the ground. Figure out where we're supposed to be. So, Ethan, you run the retail shop, right?
Yes, sir.
Right on the highway here.
That's right off of Highway 36 in Cameron.
It's a beautiful spot. Y'all go through a lot of steaks. How's business been?
Business is great.
Yeah?
Believe it or not, even though prices are rising for beef across the nation, demand continues to rise to match it.
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
I think I saw y'all just had a bigger publicity stunt than being on with Center Technologies. What was that y'all did?
Yeah, we run Good Morning America.
Good Morning America. Is that a podcast? What is that?
Yeah, it's a show on national TV. You know, you might go on ABC sometime.
It's
you
a
might
big
catch
one.
It.
Yeah.
Were you? Did they interview you?
No, I did not get to fly to New York.
Oh man!
I've never been to New York, and it looks like I still won't make it there.
Tell me a little bit about it real quick. Who joined? Bob?
So actually, we sent all of our beef there, and we couldn't jump on there. They had 50 states to run through, but we were
Wow,
selected
Y'all were selected.
for Texas.
How cool! If we wanted to find that, is there a spot to go look at it on your website or on YouTube?
Well, unfortunately, the deals are gone. But if you want to
Sure.
see the segment, just look up 44 Farms Good Morning America.
What kind of deal did y'all do?
Oh, we did 50% off.
50% off. Was it Black Friday?
Basically,
Y'all
Christmas
should
in
do that,
June.
by the way, Black Angus Friday.
Black Angus Friday.
like
Yeah,
that.
we should do something around
I've
that.
never thought of that. I thought I was the marketer, but
You are.
I think you just
You're
schooled me.
still good at it. So you prepared a custom box for those that take a meeting with us, which again, if y'all are still intrigued, hit that red button, fill out the form. We'll get the box shipped out to you. What did you choose for us this year?
So this year, I wanted to mix it up. I know you're a man who likes butcher's cuts. That's
yeah.
how I am.
Yeah.
You know, ribeyes are great, but what I decided on, 2 fillets, 1 strip steak, an outside skirt steak, a bavette steak, and then a little bit of salt and pepper so you have something to season
One of
it
your
with.
seasonings. Golly. Well, let's talk about a couple of them just briefly. Everyone likely has heard of the filet. That's awesome that you threw that in there.
Yes, sir.
I'm guessing that's just a select cut.
No. We don't even sell select meat.
Oh wow!
We are-
Remind the audience. There's 3 levels of common beef.
So there's 3 grades that the USDA can assign. You've got select, you've got choice, and you've got prime. About 10% of beef in the U.S. grades as prime.
Wow.
So it truly is next level.
Okay, so 10% of all beef in the U.S. is prime. I also understand there's like 5 more cuts or types below that. There's like canner or cutter.
There's all kinds of
They're all
different,
different
grades, and you know, everyone applies to get their own little spec. You know, certified tender. We keep it simple. No antibiotics, no hormones. USDA choice or higher.
Choice or higher. Excellent. And that's actually a big story that Kiefer, I think we're going to talk about a bit, is what y'all are doing on that side of the house too. Well, so today, I think we're going to do a small presentation, a little demonstration
Yes, sir.
around once you get your box, once you have it, you thaw out your steaks, If you're a novice or new to this, you might stare at it and think, I don't know where to go first. On the other hand, you might look at it and say, I never knew this tip or trick existed, and it just makes you stronger in your own backyard. So what I'd like to do is kick you out of here.
Okay.
Let's get some food ready.
Want to come back with some steak?
Yeah, would you do that for us?
I can do that for you.
Excellent.
As long
All
as
right.
I get to eat too.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're gonna kill this audience here.
I'm ready.
So this is Kiefer, guys. Kiefer has a different job. He doesn't necessarily work in the retail shop. In fact, I don't think he works in AC. Do you have AC?
Not typically. We do. Thankfully, Bob McLaren is very gracious, and the facilities we have, which y'all are getting to see a little bit of here today, are top class, first notch.
They really are.
So
Yeah.
we're excited, but yeah, we got a little bit of AC, but yeah, we spend majority of our time out and about in the registered cattle and creating the genetics that go into creating the perfect bite that hopefully everybody on this will get to try here.
You've done the events with us before, and when we did it in the past, we were in the auction room. Just give a little bit of a glimpse of the landscape here. We're outside the auction room looking at what?
Yeah, so right here behind me is going to be the sale facility is what we call it. So we have 2 big annual bull sales a year where we're going to sell anywhere from 650 to 700 registered Angus bulls. The next one will be coming up here in October. So
It's an obscene amount of time y'all take to do that too. What is it?
Absolutely.
It's like 650 bulls in an hour or something?
Well, no, so it's going to take from about 10 o'clock that morning when we start, and we won't get done until about 5, 6 p.m. that evening.
So one day,
Yep.
650
And we
bulls.
run every single bull through the ring.
All right. So in that world, chaotic, fun, entertaining,
All the above.
all the above?
All the above.
Authentic, old-fashioned, what you'd expect out of a fast-speaking auctioneer?
100%.
Man,
100%.
8 hours of listening to a rattle. That'd be an
Yeah.
experience.
It is an experience. They say there's nothing like a 44 Farms bull sale.
Is that
So,
right?
Yeah,
That's cool.
and it's true.
Will you talk about your day-to-day? What's your job?
Yeah, so my name is Kiefer Peckham, like you said, and first of all, I just want to thank everybody for tuning in and y'all being here. We love having everybody out here to Cameron. I'm the Chief Genetic Officer here at 44, so my goal and my role is to, create genetics that are going to go and work anywhere in the United States.
That was great.
You like that?
United States.
I wish I could have done that on purpose, but they're going to work anywhere in the United States and go and raise these calves that then are going to enter the supply chain and end up ultimately on a cutting board someday or your plate at home.
Yeah, so I just heard Ethan say that sales are up. You were telling me that despite beef prices, the market's high.
Yep.
What do you attribute that to right now?
Well, there's a lot of factors going on into the industry right now. Current herd sizes are smaller than they've ever been in the last 50, 60, 70 years.
Global or U.S.?
U.S., but with us being such a big, leader
brings
in
the whole globe
exactly. So, the beef here produced in the United States is some of the best in the whole world, if not the best. And we like to think that we've got some of the best as well.
Yeah, we've seen for the last 5 years, maybe longer, beef prices on the barbecue shops we go to and other places, steakhouses and restaurants or grocery stores, skyrocketing. Is there an end in sight? Is it plateauing?
Well, there could be. There's always black swan events or things that you can never foresee coming. The industry is constantly changing. It's constantly adapting and trying to overcome some of these obstacles. So really, it could be any day now, or it could be several years from now. But the cow-calf man is finally making a living.
Yeah, Kiefer said to me in jest earlier that the only industry potentially moving faster as far as changes impacting them is our industry, as MSPs helping out companies with what tech's available. What fast-moving changes are directly impacting y'all?
Well, in the abstract, stepping back, genetic progress is one that is evident in the steaks that you eat. But as well, there's environmental challenges, and I'm sure the hot button topic in Texas is the screwworm that has made it across the border. Thankfully, here in Cameron, we're still over 200 miles away from any reported sightings, and we take top-notch care of everything we do.
Is there? You don't see them coming. They're maggots. They're flies, right? They're
Yep.
tiny.
Yep.
So that's interesting. Have we ever had a U.S.-based screwworm?
We have.
issue?
We have. It's been. It was eradicated from Texas back in the mid-'60s, 1960s, obviously, and through the sterile fly method, dropping of these sterile flies into infestations, and we've overcome it once, and we'll overcome it again. It just becomes a management activity, I guess you can say,
more
or
cost,
hurdle.
more attention. Yeah.
Exactly.
But something different that you weren't expecting is hitting you by surprise, and you got to pivot and figure out how to address it. Some of the folks on here may not know screwworm yet. It's South America,
Yes.
and it moved its way north.
Correct.
And it's the keep me honest here. It's the only live flesh eating.
I don't know about only, but I do know that, I mean, the predominant way that it feeds is on live living flesh.
Okay. So if it were to get into a herd, what would a herd experience?
Well, first and foremost, you need to send it off with a vet and get that tested. And you've got to report that so that everybody knows that, hey, this is where it's at. And they say within 24 hours, the USDA, United States Department of Ag, Texas Animal Health Commission, wherever you're at, will be there on site releasing sterile flies within 24 hours.
It would be a sterile flies. Interesting. It would be a spread incident. If there's one, there's more.
Most likely, yes. They
Okay.
say that when you finally see one, you've already been covered up with
Gotcha.
with the fly. But here we take every precaution we can. We're doing everything we can to combat the flies, and so far so good.
Yeah, and so a view of it, since they're so small, would be either you would come across a maggot, which no, maybe not, or it'd be open sores.
Yep.
You and I were also talking about like the global economic impacts that buying out of country cattle into the U.S. Has had on the prices of beef. Is that a risk with things like screwworm bringing out of country cattle in?
Absolutely, and the government's done a great job of closing any sort of movement from South America, Mexico, up here to the United States in terms of live animals to help curb that. But there is no danger, and I want to say this crystal clear, there's no danger to meat quality or meat. So that
That's
you
a
eat.
great reminder.
There is
There's
no
danger to that. There's
at
just
all
a pocketbook pain in the rear.
for us to manage.
To, yeah, well, for to manage it, and then what we're seeing is any uncertainty in the market is industries usually increase
Exactly.
prices. So by the time it does land on your plate, typically we're paying a little bit more due to shortages.
Yep.
Yeah, and we saw a lot of that when cyber attacks hit post COVID. Colonial was a pipeline.
They got hit.
And the gas prices shot up out of fear. JBS Farms was hit, and chicken prices shot up out of fear. Well, we very well could see things jump up out of fear. It may level set again right back to where it was before.
Absolutely.
I joke a lot that I love Lupe tortillas. If you like Lupe tortillas, mash the one button. Lupe tortillas does great fajita meat. That fajita meat is like $70 a pound right now for skirt steak. And briskets right now, $38 a pound at a restaurant. It's getting obscene how high it's going, but still so delicious. We're buying more of it.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, demand is still been strong. There's several grocers that are seeing record-breaking beef sales. So, you know, the industry wants it, and we're going to continue to produce it.
10% of the U.S. beef is prime. That's what I just heard.
Yes.
Do y'all keep a percentage of your cattle that come out as
Yeah.
prime?
I can tell you that of the beef cattle that we're processing and marketing, over 99% is going to be upper 2/3 choice or better.
Okay.
With a big portion of that being in that prime category.
So y'all are beating the industry standards.
Absolutely.
You talked about the grocery stores that are actually outperforming their averages on beef sales. Y'all been pretty heavy in the news lately about a deal with Walmart.
Absolutely.
It's directly related to 44 Farms, but under a different name.
Yes, exactly. So our partnership with Walmart is under the McLaren Farms label. If you're located in the southeastern United States, and we are now in Texas as well,
too, yeah.
so we're in over 1,000 Walmarts between the southeast and Texas, and that beef product, it all starts right here in Cameron, Texas. The genetics are created and handcrafted to the point where we're trying to push the genetic envelope in a way that creates the best quality product for every person in the supply chain, whether it's the cow-calf man, whether it's the consumer at the end of the day eating on a plate. And so we're just thankful to get to work with a great company in Walmart and a great vision, and trying to supply the best quality beef we can for the ultimately lowest price possible.
I want to ask you a question on that further, but before we do, what's a cow-calf man?
Cow-calf man. So those are going to be the guys in the industry that raise the mama cows, and their ultimate end goal typically is that they're going to take those calves at weaning time and they're going to sell them to somebody else.
Oh, okay. So they're not actually taken to slaughter.
Correct.
They're going to sell before that.
They're one segment of the industry and one step of the way.
Okay, interesting. I hadn't heard that term yet. Thank you for that. So what's the goal with the Walmart movement? You just mentioned y'all have this. Well, we know we have Ethan selling steaks, and we have this upper 2/3 choice and prime cattle. Are y'all trying to push the top of what you're offering, or is it the 2/3 the choice stuff that's going?
Well, we're trying to do it all, and it starts with consistency, and that's where the eating experience and that upper 2/3 choice product on up is just top notch, and that's what we're trying to provide, and that's the high quality that you would get if you find the McLaren Farms label in your local Walmart.
Nice. And then y'all also have your branding all over Texas A&M.
Yes, sir.
So y'all have a relationship there with the school.
Absolutely.
Are y'all part of their ag program?
Bob is very, very proud to support the Aggies, and so we try to support them every way we can. I'm not familiar of a set program, except for we do offer the 44 Farms Ambassador Program, which brings in people from all over to experience Texas agriculture and what that looks like.
That's neat. Okay, so let's go to the futures a bit. I don't know, 9 months ago, Trump announced he was bringing in foreign cattle in order to lower prices. You guys are hearing that news, working on genetics. Screwworm comes in, you guys hear that news, y'all guys are here working on genetics. So as y'all continue to grow this and blossom it, which is already a name stake inside of Texas, how do y'all see this scaling into 2x, 3x, 4x the size? What's the goal?
Absolutely. Ultimately the goal is to be in every Walmart in the United States. And that starts with the people here in Cameron, Texas, and the team in Nebraska and Houston. It starts with, and I heard you say this earlier, the approach of doing business with people. People want to do business with people, and we want to create that relationship, create that opportunity for people to know where this product's coming from, and knowing that they had the highest level of care from inception and conception all the way to the end product.
Tell me one good line on, if I was a city guy working in an IT field and I'm hearing genetics over and over, what does cattle genetics really do? What does it mean?
Yeah, so really what we're trying to do is create an animal. So when we say genetics, we're talking about what that animal actually does and what we see in the real world. So we're trying to create an animal that is bigger, stronger, more red meat, does a better job in everything that animal is asked to do, whether that's breeding to an end product that you see on a table.
Yeah, and the measurables are endless. What y'all do with data is incredible. And so it's, I guess, these are all data guys. Can we do a couple of interesting data points y'all measure?
Absolutely. So, through every step of the process, we're constantly collecting data. I'm sure y'all can probably speak to this as well, but if you don't have the data, if you don't collect it, you can't manage it.
Sure.
And that goes with everything and anything. So, we're looking at birth weight of these animals. We're looking at their maternal progeny side of things. So we're looking at the mamas, what the mamas have done, what their half siblings have done. We're taking DNA on every single one of these samples these calves when they're born. We submit those samples and we get a test back, verifying not only parentage, but a look at those genome of that animal. So we're actually looking at the specific genes of that particular offspring as well.
Is this all for predictability of future calves from that same?
Absolutely.
Okay, and then on top of that, you sell these in ways, but you could sell a bull, you could sell a cow, you could sell a calf. You also are selling the genetic lines through straws of semen and other items like that, so that a rancher can start from ground zero and work their way up.
Absolutely, and we just recently took a major stride in that world. We now have an online storefront, just the same as the steak industry. But you can go and look at 44farmsgenetics.com, and you'll be able to see embryos and semen of bulls that we've produced and are currently for sale. And so they're for sale.
It's never been
touch of a
easier to
button.
buy bull semen, guys. So jump on, and we'll start a whole breed.
And we'll send it to you.
We'll send it to you. All right. Well, let's quick question on that box Ethan showed us. Do you have a favorite?
They're all good.
Yeah, I knew you might say that.
They're all good.
You don't have a favorite cut?
My personal favorite cut, though, is going to be the New York Strip.
Yeah?
I'm a New York Strip guy through and through.
Nice. Well, I got questions for Ethan on that New York Strip, so that's perfect. Ethan, did you bring anything back yet?
Yeah, I've got a little something for you.
Why don't you come on over? Allie, looks like you have a question. Do you have Q&A or no?
I do actually have a Q&A. First, before I get into the Q&A, as a Baylor Bear, I'm going to ignore that you talked about A&M.
Oh,
For
man.
the sake of the webinar, I'll move forward. Talking about the future, you guys talked about a little, wanting to go in the entire United States. Will you be in Oklahoma anytime soon?
Well, that's a great question. And first, this is a great segue for that. I went to Oklahoma State, so I'm an Oklahoma State Cowboy through and through. Sorry, Baylor.
No, I get it.
We're not great friends, but yeah, our program is in Oklahoma right now. So if you are interested as a beef cattle producer, we are procuring calves currently in the fall sale season. So they are available. We're wanting to buy them in Oklahoma. We're wanting to support the great people of Oklahoma. There are hopeful goals to end up in Oklahoma here in the relatively near-term future. We'll see how that shakes loose. But if you're close to the border, just drive a couple hours south and come check out. We're going to be in Walmarts all the way up to the border, from what I understand. So pretty dang close.
Can you ship to Oklahoma?
I sure
absolutely.
Yeah, so we can get a steak to Oklahoma. Yeah, go ahead. What's the next one? That was the question?
So far, that's it.
All right,
I'm waiting.
perfect.
I'm gonna start having beef with people though if they don't ask questions.
Beef with people.
That was rough.
That was good.
That was tough.
So,
It is
so
Baylor.
Baylor.
Well, yeah, that's what I was going to say. What do you expect?
All right. Well, hey, so Ethan, it looks like you are back at the cutting board.
I sure am.
All right, talk us through what you're staring at here.
All right. I'm going to use a knife as a pointer here. I've got bavette steak right here. This is my personal favorite cut. I think Kiefer likes bavette too, but
He didn't
New
say
York
it.
strip just
Strip's my
slightly
cut.
edges it out.
Yeah.
New York strip steak, as you can see right here. This is the outside skirt steak. This is probably a runner-up. It's either bavette or skirt, depending on who you ask. And I should say, bavette and skirt are both thin cuts.
Yep.
They've got a very coarse grain on them, which means they take marinades quite well. And they do very well as fajita cuts. So definitely, if you want to know the best fajita cuts on the entire animal, it's the outside skirt and it's the bavette.
Now, could we do some Q&A while you're doing this, or do you want to jump into the cutting while you got your mindset?
I've got one more steak to introduce, and then we can do
that
some
little
Q&A.
guy?
These little guys, believe it or not, cost about 4 times as much as these little guys do.
Uh-huh.
And that is because these are prime grade filet mignon. And they are probably the most demanded steak behind the ribeye. Personally, I don't much care for filet. I think filet is the most tender steak on the animal, but it doesn't have that much flavor when you're used to eating sirloin and strip steak.
You're going to have to mask the flavor with other seasonings to create a flavor.
Well, I would probably put garlic powder on it, but
Yeah.
I just use salt and pepper, and
Uh-huh.
I tell you what, it is delicious, and it makes this beautiful crust.
Speaking about being delicious, these all look so delicious, and we cut out for a second. So, do you mind resharing with us the steaks
Okay.
that we have present?
Sure. Well, we've got our bavette steak right here. Now, the bavette steak is also called the sirloin flap. This is a cut that they used to turn into ground meat. They ran a contest back in the day, and they actually figured out that you could cut this into a steak. And so the sirloin flap as a whole probably weighs about 3 to 4 pounds per flap. And it kind of has a taper to it. It almost looks like a flatfish, like a halibut, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And just like halibut, it's very tender and it's delicious. And so I chose a thicker one for today's presentation. I kind of like a thicker cut here. Great fajita cut, but if you just want to throw it on the grill, it's also an easy weeknight steak. Now, I've got a strip steak right here. Strip steak is probably going to be in the top 3 for me as well. It's a good balance between marbling and fat, but it also has really good beefy flavor. Lots of protein in that. Outside skirt steak is this guy right here. That's typically considered the best fajita cut on the animal. For me, it's number 2 to the bavette. Thin, cooks super fast, great coarse, fibers on it. All you have to do on this one is just make sure you cut against the grain. A lot of folks want to cut it short ways here. Unfortunately, if you do that, you're going to chew the entire duration of the muscle fiber. So
Let's do that one. Let's show that one.
You wanna
That's a
show
great
that one?
example of grain. Let's
Okay.
show the cutting.
So the grain on this guy, we want to cut it this way because this is going to be perpendicular. If you were able to see the fibers here, they run straight across like that. And a lot of folks will just come through and cut it because that seems like the logical way to do
That's
it.
the length of a fajita meat. That's what I would eat.
So what you actually want to do is you want to come through and cut it this way, and that's going to release the tension. All these fibers are essentially wound up like a corkscrew. When you cut them, it pulls apart, and it does the chewing for you so that your teeth don't have to do the chewing. So what
Lazy
I like
teeth.
to do, I cut it in half there first, and let's see if I can demonstrate here to the camera. I'm not sure if you guys can see that. The fibers run just like in wood. The fibers run there, and you can see that. And so what we're doing now is we're just simply cutting against the grain, and you can feel how much better it is to cut against the grain versus cutting with the grain. Just like when you use a saw, if you cut, with the grain, it's dangerous. Now you can see here, that's all falling apart. These fibers are now only this thick. And so that's the proper way to cut against the grain. You can get away with it with something like a fillet. The grain does run this way with the fillet, but fillets are so tender, we tend to just cut them this way with the grain. But on a coarse cut, like a sirloin or a skirt steak, you always want to cut against the grain for the best experience.
Now that you said that's the outside skirt.
That's right.
There must then be an inside skirt.
There is an inside skirt.
Doesn't
but
everybody love the inside skirt too?
They do, but outside skirt is probably 25% more tender,
It's
less
a little
fatty.
smaller.
It is.
Yeah. What is an outside anatomy class? What's the outside versus the inside?
Well, I haven't personally butchered a cow's diaphragm, but the outside skirt steak comes from the outside of the diaphragm. And as I understand it, the inside is a little deeper into that.
Okay.
But,
Probably accurate.
maybe next
Probably.
year we'll get a carcass and
Yeah,
we'll
probably.
check it out.
That's awesome. Can you do the same? Like, let's do the New York strip for a second. Is that
Okay.
okay if we talk about that?
Sure.
This is another one where classic cut of that would be from the end, just making those little cuts that are bite sized. Which way's the grain running on that one?
So this one is pretty simple. This is why you cut sometimes thinner steaks on a strip loin. On this, the most important thing to know is you want to cut off the little bit of hard fat that's always on the outside. You can see that there. It'll render somewhat when you cook it, but if you were to just chew through this, you might think it's a bad tasting steak.
I don't
Go
think
for it.
Let me see that fat.
There's always a tail on the strip loin. It's a little bit of a different muscle than the main part of the loin here. So this is actually my favorite part, but sometimes it can get a little bit overcooked. It's a little bit
Because
smaller.
it's on the end. Yeah.
But a lot of folks go, what is that? That's the best part of the strip steak right there.
I think the camera guy's letting you know that you're on this one right here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, did it
Okay.
overheat on us?
So show here. Yep. So our overhead's down right now. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Okay. No problem. So if that's the case, let's talk real quick then on the New York strip on its anatomy. It's running that length of the back of the cow, right?
Yes, sir. That's right.
And so this is going to be similar to that ribeye, as it's all kind of connected to the same loin that runs from one end to the other. Right?
Yes, sir. And on the other side of the bone, if we had a porterhouse, I could demonstrate. But that's actually the tenderloin is going to run there adjacent to the strip loin. So when you get a T-bone or a porterhouse, you'll get both the strip and the fillet. On
Yeah,
two
so
sides
if
of the
you're
bone
just
there.
getting into this and you kind of enjoy what you're hearing, if you ever eat a T-bone again, half that is already a fillet. The bigger that fillet, the quicker it's called a porterhouse, right?
Yes, sir. The thicker end towards the rear of the animal is where the porterhouse comes from.
Yeah.
And it's tapered, so if you scoot up further up on the animal, you get a T-bone, smaller fillet. If you go even further up towards the beginning of the loin, that's where we get our bone-in New York strip steak.
That's the bone-in New York
And there's
strip.
pretty much no tenderloin left on when you get that far up.
Bone-in New York strip has a name. I've heard it on menus as like the Kansas City steak or something. Is that what that's really
They'll
called?
call it the Kansas City strip. I've heard it called all kinds of names.
Yeah.
I like strip steak personally.
Yeah.
They had an amendment here to try to make it Texas strip, but as far as I know, it hasn't passed yet.
Who's trying to do that? All right, so the bavette, you mentioned as part of the sirloin.
Yes, sir.
If you're at a Costco, an HEB, you're not going to find a bavette. You'd have to go
Probably
to a
not.
butcher and ask for it, right?
Yes, sir.
So there is some common nomenclature that you might hear. I hear flat meats, actually from the same cut. They just kind of strip that out different.
It's kind of that tapered side, and it looks like
Yeah.
a flap.
Yeah, so it's not exactly the same.
No, it's the same cut, but the way they're cutting it is a little bit different. A bavette steak is typically a thick cut like this. You can see the taper on this guy right here.
Yeah.
But you want a thicker cut if you're going to call it a bavette steak.
Yeah, and I would argue if you didn't ask me, but if you had, which one's my favorite cut of those? It would have been bavette for sure.
Had to air me out like that. I apologize.
That's okay. You didn't have to ask me. I'll just share it anyway. That bavette is by far my favorite. So like my recommendation is this box includes 2 fillets, a strip, the outside skirt, and that bavette. It does make great fajita meat. The logic in me would say outside skirt and bavette at the same time and compare the two in my fajita meat. I would argue that maybe you cook those fillets for the kids and eat that bavette yourself. That bavette's just for me.
You know, typically we would say the fillet is for your wife.
Yeah, it
but
is.
in my house, it's all about ribeye. She won't touch a fillet. She wants the fat on that steak.
What about, and I might be saying this wrong, Terrace Major?
Terrace
Yeah,
Major.
hey.
That's a good cut. I've been trying to convince the wholesale guys to let me put that one on the website for a couple of years now. And it looks similar to the tenderloin, to these fillets. It's a long cylindrical cut, but it actually comes from the shoulder, and it's really probably in the top 4 for tenderness on the entire animal.
It's interesting what's happened over time where the tenderloin was even named that because of its amount of tenderness. They're finding steaks. They're finding steaks.
Well, it all goes back to what they're doing over here at the ranch, what Kiefer and crew are doing. By getting higher quality animals, there are cuts on the animal that used to be considered throwaway cuts or ground beef at best. Those animals are now getting so high quality that there's a lot of cuts on the animal that we're taking a second look at and saying that would make a good steak at a lower cost than
That's right.
a $50 fillet.
That's right. Yeah, HEB right now, $40 a pound for filet
Easily.
versus $17 a pound for some of these other cuts.
Sometimes we are hearing in here that people have seen bavettes labeled as sirloin flaps.
Yeah,
That
that's
is correct. They are
it.
technically the
What do you
same
think about
cut.
that? Okay.
But usually when you
Bavette's
call it a
French.
bavette, it is a thicker presentation.
So this
More of a
this
steak.
I hope is lesser known. The audience might laugh at me for saying this because it may be well known. But internationally, like if you travel through Europe, you find that the butcher shops there have a whole lot of other cuts that we're not eating. They're small muscles shed out of different roasts. And so you're starting to see that movement here in the U.S. The Denver steak's a great example. The Denver steak was a throwaway cut inside of a roast that you would slow cook in a crock pot and shred. Now it's turning into its own cut. You're seeing the same with what's going on with the bavette. The bavette's the chunkier part goes somewhere else in America. The flap turns into flat meat sold at Costco. It's good meat, it's just not the bavette. That's it. That's
Speaking of the Denver, we launched that on Monday. Finally got that one up on the website. Sold out the same night we launched it. So if you're interested in Denver steak, next week we're restocking it. 25% off is going to be our promotional price.
I'm not certain that I know your pricing that well, but if it's Denver steaks like other companies sell, the Denver steak is a great value steak.
Very much so.
So I'm guessing it's not the same price as your strip or your filet.
It's going to come in lower than the filet and the strip. It's going to be a similar price point, maybe a slight $5 increase over the bavette.
Bavette, that makes sense.
And it's going to be even more marbled than the bavette.
That's right.
However, it won't do as well if you want to make something like fajitas. It's better I like to make kebabs or rice bowls, stir fries. It's pretty good for those kind of weeknight meals.
So a couple quick plugs. Let's talk about buying their own steaks. You buy steaks here in the short-term future. We have a promo code for the center folks that joined. Is that right?
That's right.
What's the promo code?
It's Center Technologies.
Okay, perfect. So just throw that into there. Will you throw that in chat, Allie? If they want to use it, they can use it. But you have promos coming up with your new Denver steak. You have a full house of tomahawks and ribeyes.
We sure do.
Right now. Briskets.
We have brisket.
Man.
Prime grade too. That's one that can be challenging to find. And one thing is, like, if you were to go buy that prime brisket from Costco, what they don't tell you is that most of that beef is imported and a lot of it has added hormones in it. And so there's a flavor difference between an all-natural 44 Farms Texas brisket,
Yeah.
one coming out of Costco or your local grocery store.
This day of supplements and all the low T centers out there, I'll take whatever hormones I can get.
I'm not sure if you want those hormones. You might stick to the tea.
All right. Well, anything else you want to plug on the retail shop? Are you doing your cooks there? Are you?
We're
your-
doing all kinds of events there, but thanks to y'all and Good Morning America, a lot of our events have been digital lately.
Nice.
It's nice to get to come out here and actually cook some steaks and eat them with the crew.
Allie, do we have any other questions about meat cuts or anything else?
This one's super technical. This might be under wraps, so if you don't want to answer, you don't have to. Do the gentlemen at 44 Farms secretly have a bottle of A1 in their fridge?
Absolutely not.
No, I was just in that fridge.
Absolutely not.
I saw ketchup, and I saw mustard, and I think I saw some mayonnaise, which is probably Kiefer's. That's all I've seen in there. There's no A1. You don't
No.
need it.
We don't believe in steak sauce around here.
That was a good question. All right, that was perfect. Hey, Chris, which camera's mine?
Far one over there.
Far right? Hey, all right, perfect. So Ethan, Kiefer, thank you both for being a part of this with us. Always a great time to learn more about what's going on in the industry and to experience what you're helping us get out to our customers and prospects and steaks. So thank you for doing that.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. Well, guys, we're coming to a close. So one last chance, hit that red button, fill out that form. We'll get your meeting on the books so that we can make sure you're taking advantage of Microsoft's promotions and put you on the list to get your box of steaks shipped out to you. Really appreciate you guys taking your time out of your day to join us out here in the heat in Cameron, Texas. Until the next time, we'll see you soon.